everyone, Karen here. And once again, I'm here with my nesting die layout series, and this time it's layout number 12. Now, for review, I'm using this 12-piece set from Crafter's Companion. The smallest die, I'm referring to die number 1, and the biggest die, I'm referring to die number 12. This biggest die is about 4 by 6. So for this particular card I'm doing today, I am going to use 4 of the big die, and I cut those out in 4 heavyweight white cardstock that I'm going to use for the base. I then cut out 4 more of the largest die, number 12, in a pattern paper. It's 2-sided paper, so this side coordinates with that side, and I'm going to use 3 with this pattern, and the 4th one I'm going to use the other pattern. Then I skipped number 11, and I went down to number 10, and I cut out 3 of the pattern paper. And then I skipped number 9, and I went to number 8, and this time I needed 2 solid ones. And then I only went down 1 more to number 7, and I cut out 2 more of the print. It's the same paper that I'm using with the bigger ones. It's the same sheet of paper. And then I also needed 3 little pieces of paper that are 1/4 inch wide and 1 inch long, and we'll get to those in a minute. And then the rest of what I have is for decoration. So let's get started here. So let me move the dies out of the way. So I already have everything cut out. So to make the card base, I'm going to make an accordion card, and it's going to be connected like this. But I'm going to hide my little piece of paper underneath the mats and layers. So this I already connected because I wanted to make sure it was actually going to stand up. And it does. And it has to be a skinny little piece of paper because this is rounded here. It really only gets close enough to where the paper's not going to be that obvious for about 1/4 inch. Now, if you did it in the other direction, this way, and made an accordion card, you would have all kinds of room, and you could absolutely make your connecting paper wider. So let me show you what I did here. So I have this paper that is 1/4 inch wide and 1 inch long, and I'm just going to fold this in half. Now you could score it if you wanted to, but it's just a little 1 inch piece of paper. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lay these down here. Let me move this out of the way. And I'm going to put some glue. Now first I want to make sure these are nice and straight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my tray right here to make sure these are nice and straight across the top, because your card won't stand if it's not straight. Now I'm going to put them right next to each other with just a tiny little smidge of space in between. I'm talking just like an eyelash, just tiny little amount. And I'll show you why in a minute. So I'm going to take this. I am going to put where I made that little crease. It's going to go right in between the 2 cards. Like this. Let that dry. Now when I pick this up and I fold it over, I want to make sure that my card matches, that everything matches up before it dries, and just kind of push it down and let everything settle into place. And you can fold it in the other direction. You want to make sure it's not too tight, and everything all matches. And that's all there is to it to connect these cards together. So I'll take the 2 I already connected, and I'm going to push this up against my tray again, so make sure we're all nice and straight. Move this over a little bit more. And I'll take the next 1/4 inch by 1 inch piece of paper. I will fold this one in half again. And I will put some glue on it. And I will put it on one side. And the other side. Now I'm going to pick it up, and I'm going to fold it, make sure everything's all nice and lined up. And so now when I fold this card, it should all go together like this. When we open it, now we have 4. Now I want the shiny part to be the back, and this is going to be the inside because we're going to cover all this. Alright, now let me bring in the pattern paper that I have that is the same size as this card base. They were all cut out of the largest die. So I am going to bring in the print one and put the pink bird side up here, and then the other ones are going to get the green. And let me glue all this down. Alright, and these will be flush because they're the same size. So that will cover the papers that we, the little tabs that we put in there to attach the papers. And we'll also put it in there nice and strong in between the paper. So that way there's no fear of it coming loose. Alright, I just want to make sure these are all nice and lined up. There we go. This one is going to be the front of the card, so I thought the paper should be a little different on the front. So this is going to have the print of the birds and the gazebo. Now this paper is from Crafter's Companion also. It's from the, oh no, I'm going to mispronounce it. The Chinoiserie collection. Alright, now I'm going to fold this up again, just make sure we're still all good. And that the card does stand. So we are all set. Alright, just make sure everything's all nice and stuck. Alright, so the rest of this is all going to be decoration. So I decided for the front of the card that I was going to use the solid number 8 with a print 7, and I'm going to flip it. So the background that's going to be on here, I'm going to use here on the front. Alright, so that leaves me 3 pieces of the third die in, the number 10, and I'm going to put one of these on each of here. Now, I'm going to leave this one in the middle because I'm going to put something in the middle here, but these two are going to be more plain, and I wanted to make sure that the birds were centered. So when you have a print paper, sometimes you do have to pick a little bit. You might have a little bit of waste, but it's worth it when you get your picture of your pattern of your picture all centered where you want it to be. So then I have the second, number 8 and number 7, which was the same solid as the front, and that's going to go on this card here. So this set also came with some toppers. This one says birthday wishes, and this says celebrate your day in style. So birthday wishes I'm going to put on the front. And the celebrate in style, I thought it kind of sort of went with the shape, so I'm going to put that one on there. And then I have some lanterns, which this one I have finished coloring. This one I still need to do a little coloring on. We're going to put those on here. And then I also have, this was another piece of the set. That was just these little decorative pieces. And just to balance it out, and to put 3 elements on each of these 2 pages here, I'm going to put these on here like this. So that's where we're headed. So let's start doing this panel by panel. So this first panel here is going to be the front of the card when it's all folded up. So I think what I want to do is I'm going to use a little bit of foam, and I'm going to put foam on the happy birthday. And that's just going to go right in the middle of the green. Oh, it would help if I took the paper off the back. Like that. Then I'm going to glue these 2 together. So this will just be centered. And this is the 7 and 8. I didn't skip one to make this panel. There's that panel. And this panel I will put on foam. And this is the 1/16 foam, so it's not very thick. And this will just go in the center. Like that. And the first panel is finished. So the second panel here, let me grab the one I still have to color so we can talk about that. So this here, I am going to glue this straight down on here. Now I did use 2 sheets of 12 by 12 to construct this card, but because the pattern on the back coordinates with the paper on the front, that's a lot of P's in a tongue twister. It's nice because you can flip it over and use the back side for half and the front side for half, and it's nice that way. Alright, so there is that. So this has the nice gazebo with the 2 cranes. Now this seemed very stark white when I looked at it, so I want to put a little bit of ink on that. I just bring in a little piece of scrap here. Bring this over here. Now when I started, I was thinking I would put gray, and I'm going to color it the same way I colored the first one so they look the same. But when I started off with the gray, it helped some. Oops, get that down there. But it wasn't exactly what I was going for. So this helped get rid of the stark white. But when you put the 2 of them next to each other, well, that red really is not showing up very well. I didn't like just the gray, so I brought in some water reactive Chinese red, and I went around and just got rid of that white. Now that one's a little redder than this one, so I'm just going to put a little bit more red on this one. And that just kind of helped it to blend in a little bit and not look so white, because the white was kind of really in your face when you started off there. So let's scoot this back down again. So these 3 elements I'm going to put up on foam. So these little circles are just going to need a little piece of foam. So we'll just put a little piece there. And let's see if this little scrap will fit on here. And it will. That will be fine. And then we'll put a little piece behind the lantern. This tail, I want to support the tail of this because that's a little floppy. And I'll put a little piece over here. And a little piece over here. Let's see, I'm just going to snip this a little bit, but I do want it supported. There we go. We'll just snip those apart over here. There we go. Now we're all good. Alright, so this I'm going to put up here, hanging off the pink print here. And I think I will have these down here, hanging off here a little bit. Because I didn't want to cover the cranes or that pretty gazebo. I have one more piece of backing here. So this will kind of go like this. And I'll put this one over here. This one, let's see, I think kind of like that. Alright, so panel number 2 is done. Now over here to panel number 3. So let me lift this up here. So once again, we're going to glue this down. get glued down in the middle. Now this, I'm going to mirror the front of the card. All right. So then we will glue these two pieces together. That will go in the center. Just like that. This will go up on foam. Just like that. We'll put some foam behind the little topper here that says "Celebrate your day in style." That's a little too long. Okay, this will go in the middle. There you go. Now panel number 3 is done. All right, now the last panel is going to be like panel number 2. So this panel, once again, we'll glue this down. And we'll put some foam. On the lantern. And we'll put a piece going down there. And a piece on the side. And a piece on this side. Then we'll need something to support the top. That should do it. And now we'll just need a piece for each of these little button pieces. Get all the backing paper off. Now, question will be, do I want to do it a mirror image of panel 2, or do I want to do it like panel 2? Or something totally different? I think since the gazebo is here, I'm going to leave this on this side. And put one here. And this one over here. Alright, so when folded it will look like this, and then it does open to reveal these two. And then when you stand it up, you can stand up all 4 panels like this. Alright, so quick review on what we did. There are 4 panels made out of the largest die, which is about 4 by 6. It is covered with patterned paper to hide our little tabs here that are connecting our card. Then these 2 panels are the 7th and 8th die in the set. And this one here is number 10. So if this one was 12, I skipped 11 and then went to 10 to get this wider frame, and then used that on here, these 3 here. If you enjoyed this card, please give me a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to my channel because I will have more cards every week. And until next time, stay crafty.